that'll be fine. I will mud all these corners to make everything tight, all these seams, but I've got a bunch of other plaster repair to do before, so I'll do that all at once. Here's where I am, and this is where I'll readily admit, man, I am not a plumber. This is all ABS, black ABS plastic pipe, and I got to figure out a way to make it come out 14 1/4 from the wall, from the right wall, and then 8 inches this way, which puts it about right here. So I think I got to cut it on this side of the floor joist, couple it, run a 90, but man, that's going to be extremely tight. I'm going to come out 8 inches. So I got to figure out how I'm going to come around through here. 8 inches is right there. Be able to do a water trap, P-trap, whatever you want to call it, and get the drain to fit like right here. 14 and what I say, 1/4. 14 1/4 puts it right here. I got to be dead nuts. This is where I just buy the whole rack of 1.5 inch and 2 inch. It comes in at 1.5 inch, and then there's a bushing here that bushes it up to 2 inch because the old terrazzo poured pan took a 2 inch pipe, which is the same thing here. This will do the same thing. So I got to take it from 1.5 inch to 2. I got to figure out what I got to do. I wish I had a dry shoe. My shoes are wet, but my feet are dry. We've talked about that before, the beauty of having waterproof boots. Alright, I'm going to go to Ace Hardware. That's the local little Ace Hardware. It is what it is. Let's see if they have what I need. And I am not a plumber, and I am not looking forward to this part. Everything after this port part I can do with my eyes closed, or at least partially open. However, just keep it interesting. Alright, gotta go. Be right back. Alright, there it is. So 8.5 is this far out from here, and then 14 1/4 puts it out right here. I don't have room to do it in a 2 inch water trap because I got a copper line right there. So that bums me out a little bit, but whatever. Do what you got to do. I'm going to do it 1.5 inches. God, I'm no plumber, but I think 1.5 inch waistline is probably small for a shower. However, it's all 1.5 inches all the way down to the septic tank. So I mean, really, am I losing? I don't think it'll drain any differently than before, but I can't fit it. There's just, ooh, I don't want to go through the foyer. The front door's right underneath us. So I'm going to run it 1.5 inches, and it'll have to be what it'll have to be. God, I'm just so not a plumber. I'm going to do it 1.5 inches. By the time you guys see this, it's already going to be done. Win, lose, or draw, success or failure, I'll show y'all. I don't know. Maybe somebody else who's like a real plumber would know. But this is the only, really, this is the part that I don't do enough of. I don't do enough plumbing. I usually have Big Mike or somebody do something like this. Or the shower pan and drains just line up. But in this case, we're pretty far off. So I got to cut another hole. I drilled a hole here. This is where the old hole, with my flashlight. The old hole came through there. I drilled the other hole there, but now that's off. That's just off by a smudge because there's a 2x4 married up here. That looks like original construction because that copper line is drilled through it. The water line is drilled through the tubifer. Why they married up a tubifer, I don't know. Maybe because this one's kind of skunky, but that doesn't make sense if it's new construction. I don't know. Nonetheless, I put it there, but now the coupling runs into the bottom of this tubifer, so I got to get in here with a jigsaw because you can't get in. You don't get a second chance with a Forstner bit, wherever the Forstner bit is. Right there, 2 1/8. You only get one shot with a Forstner bit, and once you got a hole, man. So I'm gonna put in my Metallica Freight Insanity. That's my hole cutting music. So let me set you up on the stand here if you really want to watch this, and we'll get right back. bad. It's good enough. The more I think about it, the more I think 1.5 is going to work. I think. I'm assuming the pipes worked well before, it drained well before. If you take a look at the old water trap, it's 2-inch pipe, but it immediately, as soon as it comes up out of the water trap, it immediately gets dropped down. There's a bushing in here that drops it down to 1.5 inches. So there's very little of the shower that was 2-inch, and the rest of it was 1.5 inches. And the other way I'm justifying running this 1.5 inches is that's a shower pan versus a tub. So it's not as if you're going to fill a tub with a couple hundred gallons of water and then try to dump it all at once. This is a modern shower valve. We're using the same shower valve, same Brightwork. I don't know why, but whatever. That's a modern low flow shower valve. And then we're going to, there'll be a modern low flow shower head, which is, I think, 1.8 gallons per minute. I forget what it is, but they just put that valve in a couple of years ago. So that's modern, and that's going to be fine. So it'll all be low flow stuff. So the 1.5 inches, please, somebody out there, make me feel good about myself. We need to come out 14.25 inches. We need to come back from the wall 8 inches. That puts us dead nut center into where the drain hole is into this pan. We are damn friggin' close. Let me get my tapey measurement here. Got a little bit of a kick, but I can push it back easily to there. That doesn't put any strain on it. That gets me 8 inches to there, and then we need 14.25 out from the wall, and we're just about right. See, then I can come that way too a little bit. There's a little bit of flexibility in all this mess, which won't put any, in my opinion, it won't put any problems with leakage. But I left this tall. I'm going to drop the shower pan on it tomorrow, mark where I need to cut. This is 1.5 to 2 inch bushing. What I'll do is I'll glue that onto the top of here, or wherever the proper height is. And then I'll take this. This will already be installed in the shower pan. This drops over the top here. There's a rubber gasket. You can see there's a ribbed rubber gasket. And that slides perfectly over that 2-inch bushing. There's a wrench that comes with, if you've never put one of these before together, this little deal drops into here, and then you tighten this inner crush sleeve, and that compresses the rubber gasket against the bushing, and in theory you won't have any leaks, but I'll know pretty quickly. This comes out if I take all this out. I'll know really quickly if there's going to be any leaks. Hold on, let me see if I can do this to one hand. Oh, there it goes. So there's that inner crush sleeve, it's beveled, and then it drops on this beveled gasket. You guys know? That's the beveled gasket. So, anyway, that's how she goes. We'll let this cure overnight. I don't think it needs overnight, but it's already coming up on 5 o'clock and I need to hit the road, Jack. Who cares? I don't know what that stuff kicks at. It doesn't matter. It's a fresh can. I always work with fresh glue because I don't do this stuff enough to keep a can of glue around. That's the smallest I could buy. It's half a pint. So I'll keep that in my truck, but likely it's going to turn into a blob of black ABS weld-on glue before I get to do another ABS project. And that's it. All right, I gotta go. Gotta run. See ya. All right, I realized I had gotten a couple hours into today and I hadn't really taken any, well, I hadn't taken any video. Plumber's putty. Plumber's putty is your buddy. Underneath that is the shower pan. Shower pan is installed, hooked up. I leak tested all the ABS pipe. We didn't get any leakies. I trimmed to fit. I had to take that pan out, set it in place, marked it, pull it out, set it in place, and left it. Extremely fortunate. I always run them on a pan liner when I'm going over plywood floors, and I don't put it on a pan liner because I'm worried about moisture issues, because I will overcome moisture issues when I build the shower enclosure. I put it on that neoprene mat so I don't get squeaking between the wood and the cast iron. In theory, this is a pretty solid floor. It's 2x12s over 3/4 inch or under 3/4 inch plywood that's screwed and glued. So in theory there shouldn't be any squeaking, but sometimes where the You get little standoffs underneath here, right, to support the pan. Sometimes those, especially if you get a heavy person in here, they can cause squeakage. So I throw it on neoprene and it just, I don't know, gives it a little longer lifespan. Now I had thought for like half a second to tear all this out and replace it, because if you remember, the kid that came in here and did the demo bashed the crap out of the top there. I had to cut 8 inches out of the bottom to get this pan to fit, because this pan is designed to fit within the confines of a 60-inch bare wall, not 59 inches, because you got a 1/2-inch sheetrock on either side. So I'm looking at these holes, and then I said, no, we're just gonna section in some pieces. This is green board, which is moisture resistant board. This is the first gen moisture resistant board, and now what you get is this purple stuff. So, and you know, whatever. So I figured I'd section it in. It was way quicker to do it this way. And I'm going with what's called a Schluter system. I think I talked about it. The Schluter shower system and floor system, which are that kind of like a, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like the egg crate sheets of plastic that you bed in mortar. You spread your mortar, you bed this Schluter system in there, and then you put your tile on top of that. They've got corners and all kinds of funsy stuff. So it's not that critical, but this whole bathroom's done in purple or green board, including this wall here, which was never really encompassed inside the shower. I'm not sure why they did that, but now it is encompassed inside the shower, which is perfect. So it's all green, so it's all good. So, all right, using my favorite go-to product, which is the 5-minute hot mud. I've got 2 coats of mud on everything. All the seams are taped. And that's the way she's going to be left. In a few days I'll be back here, 4 or 5 days I'll be back here. And it's time for tile. Alrighty.